We finally come to the end of the Lavan saga. After his treaty with Yaacov, Lavan receives a postscript at the beginning of chapter 32. Vayishkem Lavan baboker v'yanashek Lavan av v'notav v'varech otam v'yelech v'yeshev Lavan l'mkomo. Early in the morning, Lavan kissed his sons and daughters and said goodbye, and then Lavan left on his journey homeward. Why does the Torah give Lavan this final passage? The story could have ended with the truce in the previous chapter and Yaacov going on his way. Perhaps the Torah is giving Lavan his due, and in doing so, Lavan's true motivation is revealed. Remember that Lavan was a young man when he first appeared in Tanakh in chapter 24. In one quick day, Lavan loses his sister to a strange servant of a cousin he never met. Lavan never sees Rivka again. Then, years later, his nephew shows up, unannounced, and wishes to marry his daughter. This time, Lavan is prepared. He keeps Yaacov around, agreeing to a 7-year plan proposed by Yaacov. Then, when his oldest daughter is about to suffer utter humiliation, he makes a last-minute swap to protect her. Fearing his nephew will leave, he offers Rachel in return for another 7 years of staying around. He does, however, allow Yaacov to marry her right away. After the 7 years, Yaacov approaches Lavan with intent to leave. Once again, with his family set to abandon him, Lavan agrees to another delay. This time, he allows Yaacov to trick him out of his entire flock. Over the grumblings of his sons, Lavan is willing to wait multiple fertility cycles, losing his flock in the process, as more and more sheep and goats that are spotted and speckled are born. Why? Time. The more he allows Yaacov to take advantage of him, the longer his family stays intact. Recall back in chapter 24, when Rivka was about to leave, he wanted to delay her departure also in an effort to keep her around a little bit longer. But now his obsession with keeping his family together alienates them all. His sons grumble that they lost all their wealth, and his 2 daughters tell Yaacov they have nothing left in Haran. This is why Yaacov notices that Lavan is acting differently than when they first met, including when Lavan switched his brides. Last chapter, Vayar Yaacov et pnei Lavan v'hinei einenu gimoket mo shalshom. And Yaacov saw that Lavan's face, and behold, it was not toward him as before. Now Lavan's obsession has become self-destructive. When Yaacov slips away and Lavan follows, Hashem intervenes by telling Lavan enough is enough. He can no longer stand in the way of Yaakov's journey. Hishamer lecha deber im Yaakov mitov o ra. Beware of attempting anything with Yaakov, good or bad. Now we know why God warned him against doing a good action or a bad action. Whatever Lavan's motivation, it has to stop. Lavan confronts Yaakov one last time. Habanot benotai v'banim bani v'atzon tzoni v'chol asher ata ro'eh lihu v'benotai ma'aseh le'elah hayom ol levanehem asher yaldu. The daughters are my daughters, the children are my children, the flocks are my flocks. He puts his family first. Yet, with God's warning, he knows there's nothing he can do. Like Lavan's sister beforehand, Yaakov wants to leave without a proper goodbye. In a last-ditch effort, Lavan tries to delay them because of the issue with his idols. But when he must choose between embarrassing his daughter Rachel and delaying the departure, he chooses to respect her wishes and does not make her get off her camel. Finally, Lavan makes Yaakov swear that he will not harm his daughters or take other wives. Pasuk 50 from last chapter. Im tanet benotai ve'im tekachna shimal benoti ein ish imanu re'e Elokim ad beini uvenecha. If you ill-treat my daughter or take other wives besides them, no one else will be about. Remember, it is God who will be witness between you and me. His concern is the safety of his family, because he will no longer be with them. Lavan's final wish is that they be protected. His final act in Tanakh is to kiss his family and to go to his place. Vayelech vayeshev Lavan l'mkomo. And Lavan left on his journey homeward. The last time we saw that phrase is when Avraham leaving to his place, after arguing with God over Sodom. Then, Avram finally separated from his nephew Lot. Here too, Lavan must put aside his personal familial feelings and allow Yaakov to move on his journey.